Elon Musk sat down with the BBC, I guess yesterday, day before, and he was asked about his acquisition of Twitter, asked about the mass firings of the employees at the company, and Elon Musk says that it's actually been very hard for me. My acquisition of Twitter and my tenure over it has been quite painful for me. Anyway, dog emoji for the damn logo, poop emoji in response to press inquiries.
It's been very painful, but also
very funny.
It is nice to be able to change my display name to Harry Balls.
Here we go.
So let's get down to business, and we start with the exclusive interview that took place in San Francisco between Elon Musk and our technology correspondent James Clayton. It is one of his first interviews since he bought Twitter for $44 billion. He defended his decision to lay off a massive number of staff, saying that Twitter only had 4 months to live unless drastic measures were taken.
In rough numbers, revenue dropped from $4.5 billion to $3 billion, and expenses went from $4.5 billion to $6 billion, creating a $3 billion negative cash flow situation, and Twitter having $1 billion in the bank. That's 4 months to live. So unless drastic action was taken immediately, this company is going to die and be owned by the banks.
Let's talk about that drastic action, because almost immediately you sacked a lot of Twitter workers.
It's not true, by the way.
And I spoke to them. It was very easy to speak to them when it happened. And the way they said, pretty much everyone said, is that it felt quite haphazard.
It was.
And it felt a little bit uncaring.
I wouldn't say uncaring. The issue is like the company's either going to go bankrupt, or if we do not cut costs immediately.
Wait, hold on. Why were we in this situation? Why were we in this situation where the company lost a bunch of money? I'm just curious.
Is there a guy in a hot dog suit over here?
Yeah, and we're all trying to find the guy who drove all the advertisers off of the platform by being a complete psycho.
I'm trying to figure out why this company was on life support a few months ago.
And so we had to take drastic action based on the mess that I created, and it was not uncaring. I was very sad about it, yes, but chose not to change or reverse any of my positions or change my actions in order to keep like the thousands of people that I have employed with jobs. And this wasn't just in the United States and in offices at Twitter here domestically. Like, he slashed, I think, India's office by 90%, which is why the censorship that Twitter is doing in India on behalf of the right-wing fascist leader Narendra Modi is clearly coming from the top, because essentially they've gutted the staff in India, and it's clearly some sort of corporate relationship that Musk is developing with this guy, plus they're political buddies. They're on the same side, which says everything you need to know about Elon, but here we go.
Or if we do not cut costs immediately, this is not a caring, uncaring situation. It's like if the whole ship sinks, then nobody's got a job.
Except for you.
Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just lost their jobs like that. They weren't. They didn't even know they'd lost their jobs often. They just were just frozen out of their accounts.
What would you do?
Well, you might want to give someone some notice. I mean, you might. By the way, I'm not running Twitter, but this is the criticism, and this is what staff members say. A little bit of notice,
No, I understand. If you have 4 months to live, 120 days. In 120 days, you're dead. So what do you want to do?
How much are you worth?
I don't know.
But I mean, we're talking about around the $200 billion mark. I mean, it's not quite. You're framing it in a way that it had a few months to live. You're quite a rich man.
I sold a lot of Tesla stock to close this deal. I did not want to sell the Tesla stock.
Okay. All right. So that was, I don't know why BBC interrupted there, but there's another part there. Like, again, that is a real point. He could, if he really cared about the Twitter workers, subsidized it and made sure that they were okay. But he didn't. He made a choice to take the company private, to say we are going to drastically alter our content policies to allow for white supremacists and right-wing crazies and all that other content to be put alongside you, Kellogg's, and your advertisement on Twitter, or you, Toyota, and your advertisement on Twitter, alongside a bunch of other like insane decisions, including this long rolling bizarre fixation with the blue check. The platform became dysfunctional. Advertisers left, and then he offsets that cost onto employees, which is instructive in how you can view billionaires and not worship them like little simps. All right, next part here.
Advertisers will return. Let's have a listen to this.
In terms of advertising, obviously Twitter's not a private company anymore, so we don't really know how it's all going. Have all the advertisers come back?
Not all, but most.
And
you can see it for yourself on Twitter.
Not true.
Even in the For You feed.
Right.
I mean, in the
following feed.
Don't use For You because it sucks.
Right.
It does suck. Why is it?
I'm told.
That's not what I said.
Okay, fine. Well, why don't you use For You? What's wrong with it?
How is it going? Is Twitter in profit now?
No, Twitter is I'd say we're roughly break even at this point.
And I think you've said before you see a world where you could be in profit. Is there a timeline on that, do you think?
I mean, depending on how things go, if current trends continue, I think we could be profitable, or I mean, I'd say, to be more precise, we could be cash flow positive this quarter if things keep going well.
This quarter, as soon as that?
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly,
wow.
Sure.
And do you have a message for the advertisers? I mean, can you say which advertisers haven't come back?
I think almost all of them have either come back or said they're going to come back. There are very few exceptions.
Can you say any of the exceptions?
I actually don't know of anyone who said definitively they're not coming back. They're all sort of trending towards coming back.
But there are some that just haven't.
Jumping in the water's warm. It's great.
That's your message to the advertisers who haven't come back.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Disney feels comfortable advertising, children's movies, and Apple feels comfortable advertising iPhones, those are good indicators that Twitter is a good place to advertise.
Liar. Okay, we're good here. I mean, it's like, what? There's not this. The fact that he even felt the need that he had to do this interview is telling in and of itself. He's trying to change the image around the company, but like the fact that he's structuring this in major social media company based on his like personal feuds with things like people like the creator of Substack tells you everything you need to know about Elon Musk.
Well, also, I just will say I'm fascinated by that contention that like if Disney and Apple are advertising on this platform, that it means that this will be a good trend for their advertisers going forward, because if
those companies have zero risk at being on any platform.
Well, there's that, but also
they're so massive.
If my experience on Twitter recently is any indicator, especially now with the check mark migration.
Yeah.
So basically, if I search something on Twitter, and this is just anecdotal, I don't know if it's the same thing for you. If I'm searching something, be like, oh, like this is where I get my news. Let me see if I can find something about a keyword, about a news story. The first 20 searches are verified right-wingers laundering a story about a news source. There is literally not a single actual like credible news source that is gets any sort of SEO on Twitter anymore. You don't get like a Reuters headline or an AP headline. You get like the Trump daredevil, or like that mustachioed state legislator in Missouri being like, I'm gonna go kill trans kids. Like, there's like, the site is broken already. And also, if that's who is being optimized in the search engine, what if Disney just sort of is like, let's do a search and see how we're doing over here, and it's just a bunch of people being like, oh, Disney, the groomer company that makes movies with pedophiles, the movie that has a gay trans agenda.
Yeah,
they might be like, maybe we'll scale back a little bit because this company, this Twitter, this social media platform is literally optimizing and elevating sources that are A, are misinformation first and foremost, but B, actively like attacking us as like literal pedophiles.
Yep.
And being incentivized to do so and being rewarded for it.
Yeah, I mean,
so let's see, Elon.
he's
Let's see
right.
how that goes.
The For You tab is at least more functional than the following one, which is a chronological feed. And if you follow more than, I don't know, if you follow news organizations, other accounts that are tweeting like every 10 minutes, you are unable to find anything. So the For You tab, the one that constantly recommends reactionary right-wingers in it and Elon's own tweets, because the guy's a psycho, that's the most functional part of the site. And that tells you everything you need to know about how it's going over there.